Yeah, you can share it again. Hold on. I'm on the wrong thing. I'm gonna hold you.
Why are you so antisocial? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you staying on the basketball court so much? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you out there practicing in the hot sun when ain't nobody else out there? Because I'm trying to get it.
Storm. Storm.
Why is this name so hard? How the fuck did you come up with this name, Yeet?
I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of just like some high shit.
Storm.
Welcome to another episode of the Phin Outta Football Podcast. This is the Week 14 edition. I got my brother from another mother, Rodman, in the building. It is your host with the most, B.Herbo. On today's episode, we are talking Dolphins versus Chargers, which really means we're talking Tua versus Justin Herbert, bro. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Rod, I know you've been waiting for this. I know you had this marked down. I know when you saw the season schedule to start the season, I know you was like, ooh, I can't wait. Ooh, I can't wait.
I've been waiting for this one all year.
I already
Especially
know.
after season 2 has had.
I already know. But that's not all that we have, man. So we have my good friend, longtime caller, first time listener. My boy Josh is coming on, man. He will be talking about his Packers fandom, Aaron Rodgers. Me and him are going to go back and forth about Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady, bro. Loaded show. But before we get to that, yeah. Actually, no, I don't want to argue that, bro. I don't want to do that, bro. I take that back. I don't really want to do that. But before we get to that, though, we do have to recap last week's previous events, man. So let's go ahead and get the show started. Right before we completely start, man, can I have a recap of what's going on in this Rams game right now, Rod? It is Thursday Night Football, as you know. We're doing this live on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere else you can find us.
So at the moment, the Raiders are up. They're up 10-0. Trying to see who the quarterback is. I think Walford's playing. I don't think Baker. Oh no, Baker.
Don't tell me Baker's starting. Don't tell me Baker's starting, bro.
Baker's playing. He's playing.
Oh my God, bro, it's so bad. Baker's gonna go down with Jamarcus Russell and like Jeff George as like some of the greatest bust of all time, bro. This is crazy. All right, so you just keep me posted on that, man. But let's get into the show, man. Let's go ahead and recap Dolphins versus the San Francisco 49ers, man. It was a big game. We talked about it last week. We were super excited. And then the game happened. Jimmy G obviously got hurt for the season in that game. There was a lot of ebb and flows. There was a lot of highs and lows. That game was really good, and then it just got away from the Dolphins, man. So, Rod, take me through your experience watching that game as a Dolphins fan, bro. The floor is yours, my guy.
Well, Herb, I guess the way I'll split it up is I'll talk about what frustrated me, and then I'll talk about what disappointed me. The frustrating part of the game, Herbie, was watching it real time, and I'll get to watching the film right after, but watching it real time, it was just like I was just sitting there thinking to myself, like, damn, Tua, you got jet lag or some shit, nigga? Like what's going on? Like, bro, he was sailing guys, he was throwing behind guys, he was throwing in the dirt. And the thing about it, Herb, is just based on how he's played this year, you know, I hadn't seen him play that bad. And it wasn't like, and I don't want to hear people, you know, there are people who will tell you, like, oh, the offensive line was playing bad. He was pressured on 27% of his dropbacks. You can't blame the line for that. Bosa got some sacks, obviously, but he wasn't being pressured all game. And when you watch the tape, you could see that there were plenty of times he had a clean pocket. He was just missing guys. He was just inaccurate. So that was frustrating to watch, Herbie, because when you look, especially when you look at the tape, and I don't want to down the 49ers, Herb, before I say what I'm about to say, because at the end of the day, we all know the 49ers are a great team. And part of what makes them a great team is the fact that they have a really great player on almost every unit except quarterback. You go running backs, wide receiver, tight end, offensive line, defensive line, linebacker, secondary. There's at least one guy. Secondary, Hufanga. Linebackers, Fred Warner. Offensive line, Trent Williams. They got talent all over their team. So obviously they're a really good team. But Herbie, you put on the film of that game, and it's like, and Chris Sims, who's been super critical of Tua, but he loves McDaniel's offense, he even said it, which was, you know, I mean, it tells the story. He goes, bro, the Dolphins exposed the 49ers defense. Herbie, if Tua just played his regular game, because all the throws he was missing were throws he's hit all year. If Tua plays his regular, Tyreek had 9 receptions for 146 yards. Tyreek could have had like 12 catches for 250. Like the way he was getting open, there were plenty, like guys were getting open on every play. Like the person I feel the worst for, Herbie, watching that game is Mike McDaniel, because he schemed up a masterpiece, dog. And all he needed was for his quarterback to execute. And listen, after the game, people say things and you find out certain things, whatever. But at the end of the day, Tua played badly. You know what I mean? Long term, is it something I'm worried about? No. Everybody has a bad game, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not
Facts.
looking at it
Facts.
like I'm not looking at it like, oh fuck, like the talking heads, like the Colin Cowards of the world and the Nick Wrights of the world. They talk so badly about Tua before the season, they couldn't wait for this game.
Yeah,
They
but they
couldn't
were
wait.
invested. They were invested. So like
Yeah.
Nick Wright can have moments where he's not as biased and he can be objective. But the irony of him and his opposition to Tua, because if you go back to first things first, and you know me, I've been watching that shit since the beginning, since it
He was
started.
pro Tua at first,
He
dog.
was super pro Tua. He
was pro
thought
Tua.
Tua was the best quarterback in that draft class. He said that it would be a mistake if the Bengals drafted Tua, and that's coming off of his hip surgery. He said it would be a mistake. He used to reference Trent Dilfer on national television, saying that, and I'm paraphrasing here, where Trent Dilfer would say, Joe Burrow is like a very nice car, but Tua is a Maserati. It's just different. He used to say that. So he was the biggest Tua guy, and then he completely flipped. So I'll take more credence with him. Cowherd, bro. Cowherd is just doing it for money, bro. He's in it for money,
yeah.
bro.
He knows how to play the crowd, Herbie. He knows
absolutely,
how to play the crowd.
absolutely. Yeah, this is just for money for him, bro. So I don't take anything he does with a grain of salt, right? Even though I do believe he thinks Justin Herbert is better, he's doing it. He's doing it because there's financial incentive to do it, right? Now, I will say this though. I do think for whatever reason, and everybody has a bad game. Josh Allen, who was locked to be the MVP, had a terrible 3-game stretch, bro. So I'm not here to argue that. However, this was a game that it was odd because, like you said, there was no reason for Tua to have a bad game other than the pressure of the moment must have gotten to him. And then he started pressing, right? Because after he threw that, I want to say after he threw a pick, I was like, the first one. No, after he threw the first one.
Oh.
I immediately thought to the moment that you said, which is one of our most popular videos on YouTube right now on our channel, which is when Tua throws a pick, he gets better. I was expecting him to turn up. And then he threw another pick and fumbled, and the game was over, bro. Like it was a wrap.
well, I will say this. I will say this. After he threw the first interception, I don't fault him as much. He should have took the sack, in my opinion. But Jeff Wilson,
which has been a common problem, though, Rob. That's been a common problem. Like he got better, but his instincts took over. He got better at it. He knew it was like, all right, live to fight another down, but his instincts took over, bro. Which is why he kept getting hurt, and that happened again, bro. But go on. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you good, man. No, it was just, the first interception, Jeff Wilson fell. He tried to make something happen when he shouldn't have. And, the rest is history. The second pick he threw, though, oof, man, like, talk about off target. Bro, and it's funny because McDaniel drew up that play to try to get him in the rhythm somehow because he was so off. And he threw a pick on that play. Now, after that, the very next drive, we marched downfield. He hits Tyreek for a 45-yard touchdown, and then we threatened to score to end the game. So he ended up playing better after the second pick, but it wasn't enough. He made too many mistakes. The game, you know how those games go. Sometimes those games just snowball.
Yeah, it just snowballs. They get away from you. There's nothing you can do about that. There's nothing you can do about that.
It is what it is. It's on to the next one. I do want to speak just lightly on what disappointed me though. Watching Tua frustrated me because I know he's better than that, and he just didn't have it. Bad day at the office. The defense disappointed the hell out of me, Herbie, because Jimmy G goes down, and they plug in Mr. Irrelevant. Herbie, he was Mr. Irrelevant in the draft. He was one pick away from being undrafted.
So that means he was 277?
Yes. Yes, Herbie.
That's rough.
They put in Brock Purdy, and the nigga looks like, and I know I can't say, I guess I can't say for sure, but I'm pretty sure he's not better than Jimmy G, dog. So this nigga comes in without taking any snaps from the first team, and he's able to, and granted, look, I know the 49ers, they got, McCaffrey, and they got Deebo Samuel, who Herbie. It's fun to watch Deebo when he's not playing your team.
Absolutely.
I hated watching this nigga. Bro, we
Absolutely.
could have tackled this nigga to save our lives, dog.
You couldn't.
And it was just one of those games. George Kittle catching key third down. He didn't have a big game, but all his catches were meaningful. It was just watching that game, like watching the defense, like drove me crazy. And moving forward,
But
man. Like,
to that though, it wasn't just a complete breakdown. Like there was a times where it's like you guys sent the blitz, like you were trying to get him off of his rocker, and he made 2 or 3 throws, and that's all it takes with this team, bro. Like he literally that third down that he made, where it was, I think it was a zero blitz. Everybody came, and he made a throw to Debo Samuel, bro. He made it. That was literally a great play. Just because it's Brock Purdy doesn't stop it from being a great play. Because if
no fact.
Patrick Mahomes made that same exact play, it would have been on YouTube and ESPN and Fox Sports and all of that the entire season, bro. Like the entire week. So he made the play to beat y'all as well as your defense not doing enough or whatever. So it was 50-50. That play was 90-10. Like that was a great play. That was Tom Brady-esque. Not
No,
saying Brock Purdy is Tom Brady by any measure at all. However, he did what he had to do in that moment.
no, he did, bro. What that exact play you mentioned, Herbie? I went crazy, dog. Because I was just like, damn, what the fuck did we get Bradley Chubb for? And I know what happened to Bradley Chubb. I know what happened to Bradley Chubb. Trent Williams said, nigga, you ain't getting nowhere near this nigga. So, I don't want to. The problem with our defense this season, Herbie, is that they've been super inconsistent. Right at home, I think we average like the defense allows like 16 points a game at home, and on the road we allow like 30 points a game. Like for whatever reason,
rough.
when we play in another team's stadium, we can't count on them, dog.
That's
And
rough, man.
it's just moving forward. Like I've been trying to trust our defense because anybody who's been watching the Dolphins for a long time, like the defense since Dan Marino retired has been the backbone of any team we've had that's been good. So this year has been a weird script reversal where the offense has actually carried the team, and it's just I keep wanting to believe that our defense is going to turn it around, and it's just cold, bro.
I mean, so all right, so you have another opportunity this Sunday, right? This game was flexed, right? And let's go
I
ahead
just
and
want to say one more
transition.
thing, Herbie.
Go
I
ahead,
just
go
wanna
ahead, go
say
ahead,
one
go
more
ahead, go
thing.
ahead. Go, that's fine.
For all the football coaching fans who like watching coaching rants, I say this about the 49ers, Herbie, from the great words of Denny Green. They are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
I don't know, man. You can't say you let a team off the hook with Brock Purdy as their quarterback, bro. They didn't even have their starting quarterback, bro. I can't let that one slide, bro. I'm
No,
sorry,
I say
bro.
they let them off the hook because we could have dropped 40 on them in my quarterback this time.
This is true. This is true. But again, your quarterback has an opportunity to redeem himself. You know what I'm saying? And it's ironic because we wouldn't be saying that at the beginning of the year, but football is not, it's not for long. What have you done for me lately? And lately, it's been interesting to see the dynamic, the conversation, the narrative change around both quarterbacks in this upcoming matchup, man. So let's go ahead and I gotta stop forgetting to do the little recap thing, bro. Damn, dog. All right,
Oh, the
so
football.
boom. Yeah, man. I forget to put the ticker, dog. All right, not forgetting this time, man. Topic number 2: Chargers, Dolphins. The Dolphins will be going to Los Angeles. Fuck it. I don't care. It's the San Diego Chargers to the day I die, bro. I could be 100 years old, bro. I don't give a shit. It is the San
San
Diego
Angeles.
the San Angeles Chargers, bro. So, topic number 2, man. Dolphins, Chargers preview, man. Rod, how do you feel about this game? How do you feel about going into it? We could save the Tua Herbert debate for our QB report cards, you know what I'm saying? Which I feel like is going to be very passionate and very impassioned. So let's just strictly keep it to the game itself, man. How do you feel about the matchup? Where do you feel like you guys could execute? Where you feel like you guys could take advantage? Because these guys just lost to the fucking Raiders, bro. Like I don't know what to make of the fucking Chargers, bro. Jekyll and Hyde is I don't know what to make of these guys, bro. I've never seen a team with more talent squandered than the San Diego Chargers, bro. Like, say what you want about the Packers, and this is a foreshadowing. They executed twice. They got 2 Super Bowls out of this shit, bro.
Right.
These motherfuckers have had Dan Fouts, Phillip Rivers, and now Justin Herbert, bro, and they can't get out of their way, bro. It's incredible, bro. But
It's astonishing, dog.
it's astonishing. But let's focus and keep it on the game, man. So your preview of the game, man. Go ahead, my guy.
All right. I mean, going into this game, Herb, I think first of all, I think we have an opportunity to have a really epic game on Sunday Night Football. Because at the end of the day, both teams are in a place where they really have to win. Like it's you never really have to win at this point in the season, but when you think about the landscape of the season, the Chargers are 6-6. They lose this game, the Raiders win this game, they're tied. So it's just like the Chargers trying to somehow make the playoffs. I feel like this is a game where they're going to play a pretty damn good game. And on the other end, the Dolphins, okay, losing one game. I expected us to lose one, maybe two of these games on this road trip, but we already lost one already. And we have the Chargers, and then we go to Buffalo in the freezing cold. They're saying the forecast of that game is saying it's going to be a snowy Saturday, Herbie. Snowy Saturday night. So at the end of the day, man, this is a game that the Dolphins really kind of have to have. And at the end of the day, the Chargers defense this season, when you factor in the injuries and just some disappointments from certain players, the Chargers defense ranks 28th in the NFL. They've had trouble stopping the run. So I think this is a game where the offense can kind of get back on their feet, and I'm expecting them to respond. Like Tua, regardless of what people think about Tua, in my opinion, he's one of the more resilient players, though. All the crap he's had to deal with, that nigga's a resilient player, and he knows that he effed that game up. So I think our offense is gonna and the Chargers at the end of the day, they don't have much of a pass rush. I think their pass rush is like ranked fourth last. Like, you know what I mean? They're not a team that you have to really worry about their defense this season. But I do think I don't think we're gonna mold these teams. I think this is a game when you consider the quarterback matchup that I think Justin Herbert and Tua are gonna have a shootout. I think it's gonna be a game where they trade blows back and forth because I've just lost trust in our defense, dog. I just lost trust in our defense. Like, I thought our defense could have it. If you couldn't stop Brock Purdy, I'm not expecting you to stop Justin Herbert. And if you're not gonna stop Justin Herbert,
you don't have Bradley Chubb, Javon Holland, X, aka Xavier Howard. They don't have to stop Justin Herbert. You want to know who's gonna stop Justin Herbert, bro? Joe Lombardi and Brandon Staley, bro. They're gonna do half the work for you, dog. You don't gotta do shit, bro. Like, you don't gotta do nothing, bro. All you gotta do is play your defense, bro. Just do what y'all been doing, bro. Joe Lombardi is gonna play all bad against Justin Herbert anyway, bro. So you're good, bro. Like, bro, I was watching a play. I was on the Ringer, and I'm a big fan of Ben Slolak, right? And he has a recurring segment called the Play Sheet. And he was breaking down all the failures of the Chargers right now, bro. Justin Herbert made filet mignon, bro, out of horse shit, bro. They had two slow ass receivers running into the same spot. He completed a pass that he had no business completing, bro. Now, granted, Justin Herbert has his faults. I'm not gonna excuse Justin Herbert for his shortcomings, especially this season, because he's had multiple moments of falling short. But man, oh man, Joe Lombardi is doing a master class. Joe Lombardi, this is his masterpiece, bro. This is his Picasso. This is his Leonardo DiCaprio. This is his Martin Scorsese. This is everything, bro. This is E.T. This is all the greatest artistic works we've ever seen. That's what Joe Lombardi is doing, man. So, before we go ahead and go to break, go ahead and give me your prediction, and go ahead and let me know what you expect out of both teams. Starting with that, and you can go ahead and give your prediction. So, what do you expect out of both teams?
So,
starting with the Chargers, I want to know what you're going to get from the Chargers and how you're going to combat that, and how do you figure what the keys to victory are going to be.
Well, when it comes to the Chargers, I mean, at the end of the day, when you factor in the one thing about the Chargers, Herb, is that they're like a snake bitten franchise. Like, they there's not a season I can remember where niggas don't get hurt. Like, people always get hurt on the Chargers, so their only really option here, the option they're gonna have, because I don't think they're gonna be able to run the ball well because we stopped the run pretty well this season. So I'm thinking that, this is gonna be a game where Justin Herbert is just gonna have to pull a rabbit out of his hat like he's done all season. And I do believe the Dolphins will be able to answer that bell. Because at the end of the day, the Chargers, to me, they don't have it. They can't stop the run. And if they can't stop the run against our offense, they're not going to be able to stop anything. So I do believe this is going to be a game where teams trade drives. I think there's going to be some lead changes. I think it's going to make for an exciting game. If I were to give a final score to the game, I would say we beat the Chargers 38-34 in a thriller on Sunday Night Football between two young and upcoming quarterbacks, even though their situations are a bit different. But I'm pretty sure. I don't know if the Chargers don't make the playoffs, Herb. I don't know if Brandon Staley stays another year, bro. I think they give him the boot, bro, because
he has to get the boot. He has to get the boot because he is the defensive quote unquote mastermind, and your defense sucks, bro. What are you there for, dog? Like, you know what I'm saying? So what are
Right.
you there for, man? So you said 38-34.
Yes, sir.
I
Dolphins
don't
win.
trust the Chargers offense to put up that many points. So I'm gonna go. The defense is not that great. They don't like to tackle. This might be a rut, in my opinion, bro. So I actually, especially off of Tua not having a good game and him wanting to make a statement against Justin Herbert with everything coming into it, all the stuff that he's had to hear for the past 2 years about Justin Herbert compared to him, I see
Yeah.
this going to be like 37, like 21, bro. This might get ugly for the Chargers, bro. So that's my prediction, man. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and go to break, and then we're gonna come back with the rest of the show, man. So see you very soon. See you very shortly, man.
We'll be back.
All right, man. Welcome back. We are back, and we have a guest with us, man. Good friend, long time caller, first time listener. My boy Josh is in the building. Josh,
What up?
man,
What
what's
up? What up?
going on, man?
How's it going?
Welcome.
Josh, boy, welcome to the
Let's go ahead
podcast.
and give a round of applause, man. Round of applause to my boy Jay. Josh in the building, man. Josh, man, what's going on, man? How you doing, bro? Welcome to the podcast, man.
Good.
It is a pleasure to have you, bro. You've been with us from the beginning. You've been supporting. You've always been showing love, bro. So I had to get you on, man, and you're finally on, man. So welcome, bro. How you feeling, man? Welcome.
Feeling good. Good to be here. Glad to be here. Big fan of y'all. Love this podcast. Appreciate y'all boys having me. Keep up the good work.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Show off that drip, man. What you got on, bro? Look like you got some drip on, dog. Man,
Jimmy Butler, let's go.
my dog got the Jimmy Butler, man. All right. I set you up, man. I set you up with that. How you got the
Okay.
Miami Heat, bro, but you hate the Dolphins, bro? Explain yourself.
I was
Explain
born.
yourself.
I was born in a Packers household, but as a little kid, I was gonna be respectful to my hometown team and the Dolphins. So I was actually a Dolphins fan from the beginning, and my dad was not appreciative of it. I'm telling you. I won like what is it, like probably like 10-year-old like punt pass and kick or something like that, you know. So the next round you go to the
What was this?
division
It was like
round.
Little League football, baseball. What was this? Like
It's like
what was
punt pass and kick. It's like a competition that they have like in cities, like in the school. So like you throw the ball, you punt the ball, and then you kick it off a tee, and it's like your average. It's like, so let's say you kicked it like 40 yards straight, but 10 yards off the straight line, you would get a 30-yard kick. And so I go to the Dolphins game. I'm at the Dolphins game in my Dolphins jersey, and you watch the game from the sideline with the players. And then like at halftime, you go out in front of the crowd and like you do like the competition. And so before the game, much before way before the game, it's the players are on the field warming up and like we're like taking pictures and everything. And me and my dad and my friend and his mom went up to Dan Marino and asked for an autograph. And he said some bad words. My friend's mom gave him the business. It was a moment. It was I was worried that I was gonna get thrown out of the competition. Like, it was a moment.
Wait. Are you telling me and Rod on a, largely Dolphins podcast that the greatest
That
Dolphins
Dan
player,
Marino is the biggest D-bag in the entire world. Yeah,
not that,
that's
good. That's what
I challenge you to find a Dolphin fan, right, with a positive Dan Marino experience.
so you're
He,
so wait. So
I
you're
have more.
saying no, that's fine. Trust me, I'm gonna let you cook. The floor is yours. I just want to paint the picture. I want to paint the narrative. I want to set the scene. You're saying that the greatest Dolphins player in Dolphins history was such a douchebag that he made you not a Dolphins fan. That's ironic. That's irony at the highest.
Not only not a Dolphins fan, but my two favorite teams are the Green Bay Packers and whoever's playing against the Miami Dolphins that week. Let's go Chargers, baby.
That hate is strong.
Hey, funny about that. Shout out to my boy
This
Tony,
hate
bro.
runs deep.
Shout out to my boy Tony. He just commented, bro. He said, "Yeah, I've met Dan Marino multiple times when my dad worked at the comedy club. He's a real dick bag."
Big bag of
In my
dicks.
entire life, I've never heard a positive story about him.
There you go.
I've never met him, but I've never, bro, Herbie, you would think like there would
I've
be
met
an
him multiple
outlier.
times.
Like,
Yeah. I've never heard anybody. So you know me. It's funny because like we've been doing this podcast for a couple years now, right? So the original podcast in 2014, what it started as Phin Outta Water, bro. Rodney's brilliant idea, his name, it was that. Then it morphed into the Couch Bros NFL podcast. But I said, you know what? Let's take it back to the Phin Outta Water podcast, right? Fast forward to what we are now. I've never told this story. Nobody knows this, right? Because I'm not no look at me, Louie. Look at me, Louie. If you're a Dan Le Batard fan, you understand, right? You got me and my boy Josh, we get that, right? But I've never told this story, but I'm gonna tell it now because I have to add context to this conversation. I'm gonna color this conversation. Dan, I can tell you right now, Dan is a dick. I personally met Dan Marino as well. Everybody who says they met him, they say he's a dick. I can add my own personal experience to that. Like, I could put that on top of the mountain, bro. Nobody likes Dan Marino unless you're his wife or his kids. And I don't even think they like him that much, bro. He's a piece of shit. So when I used to be a cable installer, I used to install internet, bro, for AT&T many moons ago, right? I remember I got a work order, and the work order had the last name Marino on it, right? I'm not going to say the first name, obviously, but the last name was Marino, and it was his wife's name. He didn't even put it in his name because he's too cool for people to know that he needs his fucking internet fixed, bro. What a fucking dick, bro. But I digress. Right? So I go to the house. It's in a very affluent area of South Florida in Broward County. I pull up, I knock on the door, I meet his lovely wife, the nicest lady you'll ever meet. I meet his daughter, I meet his stepdaughter, I meet all the kids. I'm petting a dog, all of that shit, bro. Nice house. I go in the house. I'm over here surveying the area because when you install cable, when you're fixing cable, you scope the area. You get a feel for the house. You understand what you need to work with. There's somebody in the kitchen. The kitchen door is open. I see a head, similar to like Home Improvement, bro. With yeah, I see a big ass head just creeping over the fucking refrigerator door, right? I'm like, who is that? That guy's big as shit. Who is that guy, right? The door closes, has an apple in his fucking mouth, and I'm like, holy shit, that's Dan Marino. And I actually said that out loud. I said, holy shit, you're Dan Marino. He couldn't even be bothered to say, yeah, that's me. He literally just gave me a head nod and walked away, bro. Like, fuck you, bro. Like, what the
Bro, his kids played for a high school. I'll say a high school down here that we played for. We were in their division. We played for against them all 4 years of my high school. And whenever we played at the high school, you could see where he was in the stands because their stands would be packed. But you would see one dude, right? And then you would see nobody around him within 10 feet anywhere in the bleachers. Like he there was a force field because you weren't allowed to sit near him.
Of course.
So he had this bubble in a packed crowd. He had a bubble around that you could see. Oh, there he is. Just I hate that guy.
You know what, dog? I can't even be mad at anybody for that, bro. No, it's funny because like me growing up as a Dolphins fan, like I mean, I'm sure you can relate a little bit, Josh. Like before you changed to be a Packers fan, right? Before you came home, right? Your family said you came home. Like, Dan Marino, to any Dolphin fan, especially a young kid growing up, he's like a hero. Even though when I watched him, like when I started watching the Dolphins, he was terrible. But I remember, I've gone back, watched old play of him, like so to me, he's like my favorite player of the team of all time because he's the most decorated player that we have of all time. But man, like for years, even to this day, to today, nobody has ever had a positive thing to say about the guy.
I mean, bro, he is from Pennsylvania, bro. He is from Pennsylvania, bro. Like, listen. He's definitely from the Middle East, bro. Like he's from Central America, bro. He's a dick, bro. And again, my only interaction with him, like he wasn't outright rude or mean or disparaging. He didn't call me a fat, ugly fuck, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say he said that, bro. Like I'm not gonna say that, right? It's not like he was like, "Yeah, get the fuck out of my house." That's not what happened, right? That's not my personal experience.
My friend met him in a grocery store. My friend saw him in Publix and went up to him, tried to get an autograph. He said, "Get away from me, kid! I'm not working."
Nah,
swear.
Okay, so I understand. Okay, so that one. Okay, so like put like this, right?
But I approached him for an autograph when he was working, and I got yelled at. So when's the right time, Dan?
You set yourself up, though, man. You set yourself up. Like me, I knew that. Because when I had that job as a technician, a cable technician, I've met multiple celebrities, right? Like I've met multiple Dolphin players, right? And they're 9 times out of 10, they're cool as shit. Like I have stories where like some my coworkers, bro, Dwayne Bowe never played for the Dolphins, but he lived in South Florida, right? We went to his house, or you know what I'm saying, and he was just like, "No, y'all good, y'all could chill, bro." Offered us blunts, bro. We had a big ass bowl of weed, bro. Like it was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I met multiple people, and as long as you don't act like a groupie, they're cool because they're not used to regular people acting like regular people. Dan doesn't give a fuck who you are, bro. In his mind, he assumes everybody wants to get in Dan's pockets, bro. I don't care, bro. Like, you don't even play anymore, bro. Like, I don't give a shit, bro. I just want you to shake my hand, bro. Like, as a man, bro. Like,
the other thing about it was, like, in that pump, pass, and kick event, like, we were wearing, like, Dolphins jerseys that they had given us, and we're going around meeting the players. And, like, Zach Thomas had already signed the jersey. Like they were signing jerseys. It's not like this was crazy to ask him to like that's what we were doing there. Like that's what was going on.
That's what it was. That's the event. That's part of the event. Like you know what you're signing up for in that atmosphere. Like that atmosphere, you're gonna sign shit. You're not supposed to be a dick. You know what I'm saying? But he's such a dick that he can't fight it, bro. He can't help it. He can't help it, bro. He can't help it. That is the Pennsylvania, bro. That's that Pittsburgh in him, man. So let's go ahead and transition, bro, because we do have a show to go ahead and do. All right. So
I can roast him for hours.
I know, trust me. We can have a separate podcast for that, because trust me, I would love to just talk shit about Dan at Rod's dismay, bro. No disrespect to you, Rod. I understand.
However, I never met the guy.
Right, don't, bro. Because if you meet him, bro, you're not gonna be a Dolphin. You won't be a Dolphins fan anymore, bro.
I've heard so much about him that I never want to meet him. They always tell you never meet your idols, Herbie. So I'm not gonna do it. I want Dan to stay in my mind as Dan the man.
Yeah, you gotta walk past him, bro. You have to walk past him, bro.
Don't watch the last 5 years of his career either. Then
no, Rod's done it, bro. Trust me, Rod has done it. Rod was like, "Yeah, Lord, I'm a Dolphin fan through and through." All right, so we talked about the Dolphins to start the show. We talked about the recap against the 49ers. We talked about the preview against the Chargers, right? And before we get into your fandom again and everything surrounding the Packers, I know that you have some vitriol about the Dolphins, right? So I want to go ahead and give you this opportunity to give your Dolphin takes, bro. So you were in the green room. You heard the entire discussion. How do you feel about this game against the Chargers? And how do you feel about, or or were you happy about that ass kicking that the 49ers put on the Dolphins this past weekend, bro? The floor is yours, Mr. Josh.
I think that I work as a bartender, and my fellow bartender is a huge Dolphins fan. So we have this debate all the time. And I think that the biggest thing is that I don't think that Tua has improved. Like, I think that Tua has shown improvement because the team around him is stacked. And I'll granted that McDaniels is, for what we've seen so far, a genius coach. I won't take that away from him. But Tua himself, like we saw against the 49ers, he's making the exact same mistakes that he made that got him taken out for Fitzpatrick. You know, like, he's just missing people. And I think that it's just the 49ers have a defense that is going to be more like defenses that they see in the playoffs, where they're going to play a team that's going to try to control the clock, control the ball, keep it out of their hands, play heavy defense. And their defense didn't even show up that good. Like, it was just like he was just making mistakes. Rod mentioned, Tyreek had 140 plus yards and like 9 catches. He could have had 200. And but you still lost by multiple scores with that happening. So I think that the Dolphins right now resemble my Packers of old, when Aaron Rodgers was lighting teams up and they were putting up 38. This is unrelated to Tua, but when they were putting up 38 and the defense was letting up, 39. So is it going to matter in the playoffs when that happens? I mean, that's going to be tough. I think that they look like that more than anything is they resemble the Packers with like the high flying offense, no defense. And it's going to, as somebody who's experienced that hurt, it's fun to watch in the regular season. And then when it matters and when it's cold and it's going to suck. But that's my Dolphins take.
Rod, I feel like Dr. Phil. What do you have to say against that, Rodney? I feel like this is network television right now. What do you have to say, Rod? What is your rebuttal, Mr. Rodman? Go ahead, sir.
Well, I mean, Herb. Obviously, I'm gonna disagree with my guy Josh, but he made some points. But this is my thing. I just can't agree when you say Tua hasn't improved. And here's why I gotta say that, bro. It's because, especially when you look at what happened our first 2 years under Flores, like, people have to understand this, dog. Like, Brian Flores was not interested in developing Tua. He was interested in getting Deshaun Watson. Ross wanted Tom Brady. The organization, at least the first 2 years, for whatever reason, they weren't in on the guy. And listen, at the end of the day, when your organization is just thinking about getting rid of you, they have no real investment in you in that moment. And you could see with what they trotted him out there with. I mean, no matter what anybody says, the stats will tell you we had the worst offensive line of football. We had absolutely no running game. We only had one receiver in Jalen Waddle. Like, at the end, our defense was good, which is why we went on a winning streak last year. But at the end of the day, the only reason why that worked at all was because of Tua. And if you ask me personally, Tua always shows some of the traits his first 2 years that he had this season. The biggest difference this season for him is the fact that the decision making is way better. He's way better at making decisions than he was before. He was always accurate. I don't know what you mean he was throwing it. I mean, he had some bad games his rookie season, but imagine the offensive coordinator tells the head coach, like, yo, we can't put this nigga out there. We didn't even plan to put this nigga out there, so now we're just gonna throw him out there. Like, at the end of the day, the previous coaching staff sabotaged him. And when your coaching staff, it's not that the coaching staff was bad. The coaching staff was against them. The talent they had around them was not helping at all. There was no support. Like, who wins without any support, even from the coaching staff? Even when you think about any of the great quarterbacks who exist, like, and I'm not comparing Tua to Mahomes, but when you look at Mahomes' situation, like, yeah, he lost Tyreek, and he's a great player in his own right. But he's had Andy Reid, and you can't tell me that hasn't helped him. Like, at the end of the day, when Mike McDaniel came in, he put together a 700 play tape to show Tua like, yo, bro, you got the juice. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna believe the genius. If the genius thinks that he has a guy that can run his offense, and we've seen what happens when he doesn't play. Yeah, Tyreek Hill is such a great player. He's gonna get his numbers, but everybody else suffers. We were 24% on third down. We couldn't score more than 17 points. He had a bad game against the Niners. I'll give you that. There's no argument there. He just had a bad game. But at the end of the day, the tool that we're seeing this year, at the end of we've been winning on his arm and off his arm. He's 8-1 when he's played all his games this year, all the way through. So at the end of the day, I just think you're entitled to your opinion, my friend. But I think Tua's gonna be the man. He's gonna prove you wrong.
Delicious. I love it. I want more of it. But we will save that. We will save that for the 2020-2021 QB report card, man. We're going to talk quarterbacks the whole way through. We could get in it. We could get in depth. We could do all of that. However, we still have a show. So we understand that you've been scarred by Dan Marino, Josh. You hate the Dolphins now, but you do have a love. You have a love, and I see that jersey right behind you, number 50. You are a Packers fan. Me and you have been going
AJ
back.
Hawk.
Shout out to AJ Hawk, man. You know, Pat McAfee, you know what I'm saying? my man has had a beautiful career post NFL, man. But me and you have been going back and forth about your Packers fandom. You are Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback of all time, and it's hard to argue. I'm a Tom Brady guy, but that's here and there. We can have that for a separate argument or for a separate podcast, man. I want to go ahead and get to know you on a personal level. Like, I know you, but I want the people to know you, bro. So explain to us your Packers fandom, bro. Like, how did it start? I know you were ingrained in you as a child because your family is a Packers fan, but beyond that, like, how is your family history with the Packers? When did you become a Packers fan, bro? And explain to us why you love the Packers so much right now.
My father is the baby of 6, and he was raised in Wisconsin in the Lombardi days. So like back Super Bowl I, Super Bowl II. But like being the baby of 6, he lived in Kenosha, which is like 4 hours south of Green Bay. So he never got to go to games at all or anything like that. I remember watching the games with him like as a little kid and like seeing him like be passionate about the games. I remember very specific moments from Packers games. Like there's a very famous Monday night overtime catch from Antonio Freeman against the Vikings where like it hits off of his head as he's falling down and then his shoulder and his ankle and he grabs it and gets up and go. Like I remember watching that live with my dad. But like my dad's first time like going to a game in Lambeau was like a surprise, and it was the one in the playoffs where they called where Hasselbeck called oh, we want the ball and we're gonna score in overtime, and Al Harris picked it off and ran. Like that was my dad's first game, and he called me from like Lambeau, and he's like putting the phone up, listen to the, so like that kind of like Packers like love, and like up in Wisconsin it's different. Like all of my family in Wisconsin, it's like it's religious up there. Like it's everything shuts down on Sundays. Everything is Packers on Sundays. So like that's whenever anybody asks me, like I work as a bartender. Anytime anybody asks me, why are you a Packers fan? I don't go into detail about trashing their hero. I usually just say because I was raised right.
Man, and that's awesome because it's like it's funny because me and Rod we're from immigrants, right? So we're first generation football fans, right? So we don't have that lineage, we don't have that connection to our family. Rod became a Dolphins fan because he's from this area. I became a Cowboys fan because I saw a black quarterback and that was somebody I could identify with. So when I hear people that I know personally who are fans of football teams, basketball teams, whatever, soccer teams, whatever, F1, it doesn't matter, NASCAR, because of that lineage and it's brought down, it's such a great connection point. And I'm not going to say I'm jealous or envious of it. I just think it's beautiful because it lets you know that there was a life before you, right? Before you were a twinkle in your father's eye, bro. Your dad was a Packers fan, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he bestowed that on you. And I know it hurt him when you were originally a Dolphins fan, but you came home. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
Came home.
absolutely.
Came home.
You came
I
home. You know what I'm saying? So I know that was awesome. Like me, I have a daughter. Like I'm not gonna push the Cowboys on her because I don't want to put that generational trauma on her. But if she wants to adopt the Cowboys, more power to her. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be a great thing because that's gonna give us something to bond with, right? And I just think that's so fucking awesome, bro. So, um, your your fandom, right? You've been a fan for a long time. Take me to some of your ups, your downs. Like, what is your favorite season as a Packers fan, and what is your worst season as a Packers fan? And we'll start with the worst because I want to end on a high note. So, the worst season as a Packers fan, not including this one because this is pretty bad. This season is pretty bad.
this is a bad one. Worst season as a Packers fan. I'm old enough to remember Favre losing to Elway when they tried to go back to back after they beat the Patriots. That was pretty bad. Because we expected to win. We were like the Broncos were the underdogs there, and then we didn't. So losing a Super Bowl sucks. You guys wouldn't know
Bro,
anything
you
about
are
that.
you are fucking ancient, bro. Like you're ancient, bro.
Yeah, you
I kind of do, bro. Like, it was, listen, my last Super Bowl was in '96. That wasn't that far off from you.
Okay.
That was '94, jackass. All right, all right, all right. So we're in the same boat. You got one in 2010. Whoop de fucking do. All right. You fucking dig, Rod. Yeah, it's been a long time for you, bro.
Very, very long. There are people 20 years older than me that ain't seen it yet.
I would also say probably in the most recent, like not losing a Super Bowl thing, but like after the number one member, like I remember Brett Favre winning the Super Bowl against the Patriots. I remember watching that with my dad. I remember that moment, but that wasn't as special to me because I didn't understand how hard a Super Bowl was as Aaron Rodgers' Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
At that point, I had appreciation of football. I understood the game. I understood like this. We don't win every year. Like as a little kid, my team just won. Like, oh, we must do this all the time. My dad hadn't seen that Packers team win in 50 years, like since Super Bowl II. So like he waited all that time to see that. And so here I am as a new fan thinking, which is kind of in a good analogy for Aaron Rodgers, kind of, because like right out the gate he wins a Super Bowl and maybe in his head, oh, we're gonna do this all the time, but it didn't work out like that, clearly, you know. So my number one, my best memory is the year that the Packers won with Aaron Rodgers coming out, fighting for the wild card, getting it in the last week of the season, battling on the road, beating Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl. Like that was epic. Worst is probably the next year where we go 15-1
and you lose to the Giants, bro.
and we lose to the Giants, and not only to the Giants, but to the Giants where it would have, if we would have beat the Giants, it would have been the Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady Super Bowl to finally shut everybody up, and we would have had the Goat Bowl. But they screwed the pooch. There it is, and 15-1 we lose.
Okay, so as I'm put like this, right? And this is gonna be like a very in-depth reference, right? If you are very in tune with pop culture, if you are very in tune with like early 2000s Comedy Central, obviously the all-time classic show, The Chappelle Show, the first season, right? There is something that they have called the Player Haters Ball. I am Bucky Johnson when it comes to the New York Giants. I was so mad that y'all lost to that Giants team that went on to win another Super Bowl, bro. I will never. That's probably why I now that you're on and now that we're having this episode, I'm self-evaluating myself because I've never given it thought, but that's probably why I'm so frustrated with all the praise that Aaron Rodgers used to get because I can't let y'all losing to the Giants go, bro. Y'all let these motherfuckers win another one, bro. Like, Rod knows this. Rod was my roommate when they won that first Super Bowl. Actually, I'll take that back. No, it was the second Super Bowl when you were my roommate. I'll take that back. I'm sorry. I'm second. The first Super Bowl, I could not watch TV. That's when that was me, the height of me as a football fan, bro. Like, my entire life was dedicated to football, fantasy, everything. ESPN, like, that's the only thing I consumed. I could not watch ESPN for 3 weeks. I'm telling you, this is not an exaggeration. I'm telling you the exact time frame. It was 3 weeks before I could consume sports because that's how much it meant to me when the Giants won in 2007. So when you guys got your ass kicked and y'all let them go on and win again, I couldn't. Rob was my roommate in 2011 in Lambeau. Rob was my roommate. When they were watching First Take, I didn't come outside. I stayed in the room, bro. I stayed in the room. I could not let that happen. And that anger, I put that on the Packers. And now I'm just realizing that, bro. No wonder I hate this fuckers so much, bro. Because y'all let that happen on your watch. On y'all 15-1 season. How, Josh?
Hey,
How?
honestly, if the Jets made it to a Super Bowl, I would hate any team that gave it up to them. So I feel you, bro. I would, bro.
You would hate the Colts so much, bro. Like you would hate the Colts so much.
Like the Mark Sanchez years were. Oh God.
I know you want to hate Aaron Rodgers for it, but Aaron Rodgers led playoff teams average 38.7 points allowed in the playoffs. I'm just saying it might be somebody else's fault.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's transition to that before we go on to your recap of the Packers season this season, right? So, as much as me and you have gone back and forth on Facebook and social media, Josh, the irony is that I'm actually a huge Aaron Rodgers fan. I've said this on multiple occasions. Even with Patrick Mahomes, I still say to this day, like, I get annoyed at how much we want to annoy Patrick Mahomes, even though he kind of deserves it at this point because he's done it for so long, that we want to forget how incredible Aaron Rodgers was, and used to be. Aaron Rodgers has the highest TD to interception ratio. Aaron Rodgers had a season where he threw 45 touchdowns and 6 picks, bro. Like, he played the position higher than it's ever been.
He almost did that twice.
He almost did that twice. He did what you're supposed to do as a quarterback, which is give you all the aggressive plays with none of the drawbacks. You're getting the touchdown, you're getting the production, you're getting the field changing plays, but you're not getting the turnovers, bro. Like, he has multiple seasons where he has over 112 passer rating, bro. He has the record for the highest passer rating in the season. I know all of this, but it kind of annoys me because I've seen too many times where, and again, I know that his defense has failed him, but I've watched every playoff game of his career. You can't quantify it, but there's just something about the fact that he comes up short and the Packers come up short as a team, right? Yes, the team gives up 40 points a game, but you know what helps a team giving up 40 points a game? When your defense is coming right back on the field because your offense went 3 and out for no fucking reason, right? So I want to go ahead and give you that opportunity to, I'm not going to say defend Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the first ballot Hall of Famer. Aaron Rodgers is arguably the greatest quarterback of all time as far as production, as far as playing the position how it's supposed to be played. But I want you to use this opportunity, use this platform to just say, hey, this is what really goes on when Aaron Rodgers plays that you guys don't understand. And again, I'm not going to let you could defend Aaron Rodgers however you want. Just do not mention that Seahawks game, bro. I will fight you to the death, bro. We could do a battle royale. We could do a Hell in a Cell. We could do a Royal Rumble. You better not mention that game. Any other game, you can have it. You better not mention that game, bro. The floor is yours, bro. defend all of these
I won't
playoff.
mention onside kicks and all that.
Nah,
Off of
fuck.
people
I don't give
comments.
a
I got
fuck, bro.
people.
You guys were up 21-3. I don't want to hear that shit. All right. I'm sorry, bro. I don't want to hear that shit. You were up
Well,
21-3. All
that
right.
that goes a lot into the other defense of it, which is a lot about what I was saying about the Dolphins, is that in the playoffs it's different football, and that's why the Dolphins remind me of those Packers. Is that when you play a pass first offense, not only pass first, but when your run game does not control the clock, especially in the playoffs, especially in bad weather, especially like they're playing in Lambeau, and he's got a great he's got great a record in the cold, but like it's not easy to throw in that late. So it's great in the regular season, but like in the postseason when the defenses lock up and there's way less room for error, and the defenses are way tighter and they're throwing coverages and blitzes at you that you've never seen before, all of a sudden you're getting a lot more 3-and-outs. Those 40-yard chunk plays aren't necessarily there anymore, and you have to work your way downfield. When that doesn't happen and you don't have a run game to control the clock, your defense is getting ragdolled by a 49ers team that literally puts up like 400 yards of rushing while Jimmy Garoppolo throws 9 like craziness, because your defense can't get off the field and your offense can't stay on it. It's a mix of bad. And that's kind of what I was talking about with the Dolphins. I mean, like, it's similar to what problems that they had last year, in that like, but last year it was special teams, and like we see it every year, and every year as a Packers fan, like we say, like last year, I promise you, since the second week of the season when Amari Rodgers fumbled a punt, everybody in Packers Twitter, everybody in Packers fandom was like, special teams is going to lose us a game, and it's going to be a game that it matters. And then they get a blocked punt that gets them a touchdown. Like the defense did great in that playoff game, and like other than that blocked punt, like, I mean, yeah, Rodgers didn't do anything, but like it was 6 degrees and the wind was howling. I mean, no run game. That's what I worry about for the Dolphins. Not that I worry about the Dolphins. That's what I'm telling you is going to happen to the Dolphins. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to kind of delight in that, but you know what I'm saying.
This motherfucker, bro.
This must be a bad season for you, dog. Because we've been winning a lot. You've been winning a lot. This must be a bad season for you.
All right. I'm gonna challenge that notion, but I do want to go ahead and move the conversation to this Packers season as a whole, because I do want to get your opinion on the Packers season that we have as it stands, right? At the end of the day, yes, the special teams gave up a terrible block punt or whatever it was, right? At the end of the, like, there's always something. You got 3 picks last year or 2 years ago against the Buccaneers in NFC Championship game. It didn't matter. Like,
and LaFleur, what did LaFleur do on it? Like when you have the like, what are you doing? You take the ball
right,
out. Like,
but again, like, listen, I'm not.
But it's always something like that.
It's always something. It's
in the 49ers game. That's why I was saying, like, when I was a little kid, that Favre Super Bowl, I was like, oh, this happens all the time. And then it's like, oh no, it doesn't. But like you guys both know, it doesn't happen all the time.
It doesn't. And that's why, like,
Devontae Adams, like, people don't remember Devontae Adams fell down on a wide open touchdown against the 49ers. He fell down and the pass landed out of bounds. He fell down. He would have had walked into the end zone.
But so the reason why you said that, what you just said is the reason why, and I just have to give it to Tom. And again, we can have this argument or whatever, right? There's so many variables that could ruin a season, because football, and this to me, there's no better sport. Like, you could bring me football on a global level. You could bring whatever sport you want. You will never tell me there's a sport that's better than actual American football, because so many things have to go right? On top of the fact that you have to be excellent when it matters the most. That's why I have to give it to Tom, because we all have seen so many opportunities get squandered And he's able to take advantage of those opportunities more than anybody in the history of the sport, bruh, at the quarterback position. You can't argue 10 Super Bowls and 7 Super Bowl championships, bro. Like especially when Aaron Rodgers has only been to one.
No, that's why I say I'll gladly admit he's the most accomplished quarterback of all time for sure. But like the greatest quarterback talent of all time, the best quarterback player of all time is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
Like it,
I'm with you with that. I'm with you with that.
if you take any of Brady's seasons where he doesn't have a top 15 defense, it does not look good for him.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think like we have seen where you can improve your team's defense by scoring points, sustaining drives. Like it's to the point where it's literally unquantifiable with his career. He is an anomaly. We can't make sense of it.
And truthfully, here we're arguing like semantics about
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
like, and the gap is probably so small. But like my and I know it's only theoretical, but my thing is like my final thing to break the tie, if you will, is like hypothetically you have run a Madden franchise in your head or whatever. Take Brady and put his career and swap the teams. Put Brady on the Packers, put Rodgers on the Patriots. Who wins more?
Okay, if
like
we
Rodgers,
see
like Aaron Rodgers with Bill Belichick, like he won a Super Bowl in spite of Mike McCarthy.
yeah, but okay, so that's an interesting conversation that we could have, right? And we could devote like 5 minutes to that. I think quarterback, and this is what happens with Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, right? And I think, and this is no slight. I don't want you to take this as a slight to Aaron Rodgers. This is not. This is just my 100% honest opinion about the matter. Patrick Mahomes is going to go down in history ranked higher than than Aaron Rodgers when it's all said and done. Why? Because he has both arguments. He has the clutch argument and he has the talent argument. And again, this is not no slight against Aaron Rodgers. Like the arrival of Patrick Mahomes, and because everybody likes new shiny things, everybody wants the new thing, and everybody wants to get behind the new thing. It kind of annoys me, and it made me fall back in love with Aaron Rodgers because I'm like, Aaron Rodgers did this for a decade. Like, did y'all forget? Like, did y'all forget? However, Patrick Mahomes has something right now that Aaron Rodgers doesn't have, and this is just purely narrative wise. I'm not talking about as actual tangible ability. I'm talking about purely the narrative. He has the clutch gene because he has a winning record while being down double digits, bro. Nobody else has that. The next closest is Tom Brady, bro. Like he has so many different arguments. And I think the thing with Aaron Rodgers is that people view him as a front runner. People view him as he's the best when everything is going in his way. I know you don't. I
mean, I could see that. I also would say that like Patrick Mahomes, I agree. I think he's gonna be at the end. He's gonna be looked at as better than both Brady and Rodgers. But I think a big factor of that is that the Kansas City's management has found some wizardry and witchcraft to work in the cap space, and they are just constantly loaded since the beginning of his career. They've been. I mean, Travis Kelce, potentially the greatest tight end of all time. Like. It's wildly, and Andy Reid is phenomenal. Like it's a perfect combination down there.
It's a perfect storm, bro. But this is where I'm gonna challenge that though. Like going back to Tom Brady, I think people get caught up in the ability versus what you're going to do in the heat of the moment. And I think that is what Tom Brady has excelled at. Can Tom Brady run to his right and throw a 40-yard or 60-yard dart on a line across his body going to the left? No. But Tom Brady does every single thing at a high level, at a quarterback level, that it doesn't wow us, but at the end of the day, it adds to winning the game, right? Like the best football game I've ever seen a quarterback play, other than Patrick Mahomes against Tom Brady in the Bucks, which he got his ass kicked, but individually. So like if you in a vacuum, Patrick Mahomes was awesome in that game. Like Patrick Mahomes threw a 40-yard pass sideways, bro. Like and it almost hit fucking a wide receiver. That shit was crazy. But the 2018 Tom Brady game against the Eagles, was it 2018? That was 2018?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was 2018. Yeah.
This man had 516 yards passing, and his best receiver was Kevin Hogan, bro. Rob Gronkowski wasn't there. Whoever his what's his name, bro? The white dude, bro. I can't remember his name, bro. What's his name, bro?
Oh, Edelman.
Julian Edelman was not there. No, this is way after Wes Welker. Julian Edelman was not there. His best receiver was Kevin Hogan, and he didn't have he was missing 2 offensive linemen, bro, and he still was the best player on the field against a loaded Eagles team. Sometimes it's not about ability. Sometimes it's not about talent. Sometimes it's about effectiveness. And I don't think that Aaron Rodgers has that argument. But go ahead.
Sometimes it's also running a game plan.
Game plan with Kevin Hogan, bro. Josh, bro. Come on, Kevin Hogan, bro.
I'm saying that was the genius of Bill Belichick is that everything was a 5-yard slant, 5-yard.
It like wasn't. You're not getting 500 yards on 5-yard slants, bro. With Kevin Hogan, bro. That's your only option, bro. Like, come on, dog.
I'd be interested in Kevin Hogan's rack that game.
Bro, you're not going to say that Kevin Hogan was out here dusting fools.
I'm not trying to take away from you. You can pop off for a game. Like everybody can pop off for a game. But Brady is known like it's not. And I don't mean this as a slight, even though I do kind of.
No, you can't, because, bro. We're talking the best ever. Like, we're not trying to say that Tom Brady is garbage. You would never, and you don't believe Tom Brady is a bad quarterback. You know Tom Brady is great,
absolutely
regardless.
not.
Absolutely. So yeah, you can say that. We're arguing semantics. So go ahead. You don't even have to quantify that, bro. Go ahead.
But when they say like the system quarterback, it's like he's not. He's it's 3-step drop, throw it on time. Like that's what it is. That's why that Aaron Rodgers, people. It's funny that you were like, people were talking about Aaron Rodgers not being clutch. He has a highlight reel of Hail Marys, just like 9 Hail Marys. That's like, what are we talking about? He's not clutch. He just hasn't been able to keep it within 30 in the playoffs, just because he's like they're getting ragdolled. But I've seen him like you as a Cowboys fan. As a Cowboys fan, to tell me that Aaron Rodgers is clutch after the things that he's done to you guys is like what?
No. I never said that he's not clutch. I'm saying that every season, at the end of the season, there's always something. There's always something. That's what I said. There's a difference. Go ahead.
I would argue that thing is never him.
But at some point, it has to be him because he is the best player and he has the most control over the out.
Brady would take contract less on the contract where Rodgers doesn't. But like at the same time, if Rodgers didn't get any input into the team, which was wild, but if he wasn't given any input into the front office until this past year. Why aren't you asking for everything? Why would you feel it? But that's a separate conversation.
Listen, we see the same Bill Belichick with Mac Jones, and that nigga is not that good, bro. Like we seen him do it with Cam Newton, we see him do it with Mac Jones, bro. Like at the end of the day,
they won and passed the ball for 3 times. They beat the Bills. You can't deny that.
And then they got smoked, and then that same Bills team destroyed them in the playoffs, bro, because they couldn't do that again.
But they got to the playoffs with Mac Jones.
Because the
That's
AFC East sucks, and the
crazy.
AFC, bro. I'm not saying that Bill Belichick didn't help. I'm saying that Bill Belichick will never sniff the Super Bowl again. Like,
That probably because he
I mean, he's a
retired.
lifetime
I,
500
I would
coach.
say, I would
right?
say,
He's
give,
like,
give him a decent team again, and
Without Brady.
why not?
all I'm saying is we can try to downplay what Tom Brady did, or not even. And I'm not even gonna say downplay. Like, I'm not even gonna accuse you of that. I'm just saying that you acknowledge from the jump that it's very hard to get to a Super Bowl. He got to 10 of them. Like, at some point, like, what are we arguing about, bro? Like, I just think because he doesn't look flashy doing it, that we try to discredit what he's a genius at, which is doing the right thing. Like, taking advantage of what the defense offers you. I get it. It's not the coolest. It's not going to be on the fucking YouTube at the end of the day, bro. It's not going to make the highlights, bro. But when you have 5 linemen and a blitz coming at you and you throw to your check down because you have the wherewithal to do that, there's genius in that, bro. And he's been to 10 Super Bowls, bro. He's won 7 of them. He's the first.
He's been on some great teams.
He's been on some great teams because he's great, bro. Like, let's stop this.
He
Like,
is also great, and he's also been on some
all right,
great teams.
all right. So let's go ahead and move this. Let's move the conversation though, because we're running. We're going against the time. What is your opinion of this team right now? What is the record? Like, what is y'all record right now? What y'all 5 and?
At 5-8.
Jesus Christ, man! This. So
It's a long season.
take me through the Packers fan. Like, how is it as a Packers fan right now, man?
I have my little notebook right here. I wrote down at the beginning of the year. All the game, like I like to like little sports gambling stuff. I picked the Packers going 7-10 this year before the season. Like, everybody's freaking out about like the Packers underperforming and Aaron Rodgers like under. It's like, what did you guys think was going to happen? I don't understand what anybody thought was going to, like, no Packers fan that I know of thought that we were going to just lose Devontae Adams, who was 78% of our offense, and then just go back and be okay without anybody. Like, Christian Watson's coming along now, but like that took a while. Like, I know we had that conversation about him getting frozen out, but like there was Packers Twitter was running highlight reels like of just his lowlights of like multiple drops, like 7 or 8 drops or something like that in the first 6 weeks. Like, I don't know, like, people were talking about at the beginning, people were talking about the Packers going out and getting Odell Beckham, and it's like, why would Odell want to go to Green Bay? Like, it's definitely not the weather, definitely not the city, definitely not the tax situation, and definitely not the roster. Like, people thought a wide receiver was going to fix this. It's crazy. Like, all of it sucks. Matt LaFleur is coaching like he still has Devontae Adams, and he clearly doesn't. And like, Christian Watson's coming a long way, but like, he's not Devontae Adams. And like, when he gets double covered like Devontae Adams did, nobody else gets separation. The Packers are 25-3, now 26-3 after the Dallas game. Shout out Herbie. When they give the ball to Aaron Jones 17 times or more, in every single loss that they have this year, they've given it to him less than 15 times. It's like he's your best player, and you refuse to give him the ball. And then in the interviews afterwards, they ask LaFleur about it, they ask Rodgers about it, and they both go, "Well, we really need to get Aaron Jones involved in this game and involved in the game plan." And then the next week comes, and then they get him less touches every single time. So is it LaFleur's play calling? Is it Rodgers checking out of LaFleur's play? I don't know, but one of them is lying to us, or both of them is lying to us, because he's not getting the damn ball, and he's the best player on your offense.
Whoa. Wait. Rod, can you hear his audio? Did that change for you, Rod?
Yeah, it changed.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Your audio changed. Just check your audio settings real quick, my guy. I don't know what the fuck happened. Man,
We can hear you. It's just
we
like
can hear. We can hear you. We can hear you, and it's like, damn, bro. Like you was really going in, bro. That was a beautiful
yeah, you were
rant, dog.
cooking, man, and then
Like
it
you was
just
really
split.
cooking, dog. Like
Yeah, it's
damn.
weird.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
It sounds like muffled. Like, did you knock a
Nah,
cord?
you know what it is? Because he had to throw that shot at the Cowboys, bro. It's karma, dog. It's karma, bro. It's karma. Nobody told you to talk shit about the Cowboys. The Cowboys ain't shit. The Cowboys ain't say shit to you, Josh. You feel me? You know, like. All right. So what you need to do, just check. Look at your audio settings. Just make sure that it's your internal mic and not your webcam mic. All right. So while Josh gets that fixed, bro. Hey, we're live, bro. It's part of the game, bro. No.
It'd be like that.
Hey,
It'd be like that.
ain't no biggie, dog. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Ain't no biggie. Shout out to my boy Josh, man. I mean, my bad. Shout out to my boy Tony. Oh, nah, same, bro. Same thing. So there's a little gearbox. So go to the little gearbox and check your settings and check your audio and see what it's on. 'Cause that. Nah, you grits, my boy. Yeah, you grits. You grits, bro. That just might be what it is, dog. It's fine, bro. It's not no big deal, bro. So, all right, man. While we do that, let's go ahead and just transition to the QB report card, bro. And we'll come back when you get fixed and all of that shit. We'll come back to what you were saying about this Packers season, bro. So let's go ahead and transition to our quarterback report card, man. Man, dog, this is whoo. It's ironic because the the 2020 quarterback class is actually what the 2021 quarterback class was supposed to be. And you just never know what a quarterback class is going to turn out to be. Like, we have made Todd McShay, Brent Coleman, what's the one dude name, bro? I can't remember his name. Mel Kiper, the originator, bro. We've made all of these people like super rich from this, and none of these motherfuckers actually know what they're doing, bro. Like for real, like none of them, bro.
They never know, bro. They
They
never.
You never know. You never know, bro. Like you never know. You will never know, and that's the irony of all of this, dog. Like everybody at the end of the day, you have your own biases, and you're just guessing, dog. So we have our good old QB tiers. This is going to be the quarterback, the 2021-2020 QB report card, man. So y'all boys ready?
Yeah, get it, baby.
All right, man. All right, let me go ahead and get this set it up and whatnot. Let me see this here. Add to dynamic. All right, man. So I have a couple of players from the 2020 QB draft class. I got the players from the 2021 QB draft class. And man, the quarterbacks that we have from drafted first to last, man, we have Joe Burrow. Let me go ahead and put the guy over here. Oh, okay. All right.
It only works the other way. That's hilarious.
We got Tua. We got Justin Herbert. We got Jalen Hurts. We got Trevor Lawrence. We got Zach Wilson. We have Justin Fields, Mac Jones, and Davis Mills, man. And our tiers are franchise guy, great player, starter, journeyman, and bust. So me, Rod, and Josh, we are going to debate where each of these players should be in these tiers. That is going to be the game. That is what we're going to do. Are y'all ready? Y'all good? Y'all got it? Y'all ready for this?
Ready for this, man.
Y'all ready for this? You sure about that, dog?
Been ready, dog. Stay ready.
All right, man. All right, dog. All right, man. Hold on. Let me go ahead and see. Good. There we go. Yeah, nah. I like this better. What we got here? Ooh, no. Yeah, I like that better. All right, man. First thing first, man. Joe Burrow, man. Where we putting him, dog?
I mean, I think to me, I think it's pretty clear he's a franchise guy. He already made it to a Super Bowl, and he could make it back. He can make it
Josh,
back.
do you agree? You disagree? Is that where you're putting Joe Burrow?
Yeah, I think I picked the Bengals coming out of the AFC before I pick anybody else this year. They're like 8-2 in the West.
Wow, that is a hot take, my boy, man. Listen, I gotta agree, man. Joe Burrow, man, franchise guy, man. Now this is where it's gonna get kind of tough. This is where it's gonna get kind of spicy, man. This is where it gets spicy, man. So Tua Tagovailoa, man. We have. There's no way that he's gonna be past starter. So we're not even gonna pay attention to journeyman or bust. So we have great player or starter. Josh, I want to start with you. Where do you think he should be? And you know what? I should have made an extra one, right? Or whatever. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to make an extra one. Add row below. Bam.
What was that one? I didn't see it.
We have good, but not great.
Oh, that's above starter, right?
That's above starter. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Oh wait, one of them disappeared.
I know. I'm about to add that shit right now.
I put Tua there.
Hold on. I got great player.
Good, not great. Great on a great with a great team. If that's fair.
If this shit would fucking stop. There we go. Delete row. All right, so we got great player, we got good but not great starter, journeyman, and bust, man. So this is where it's gonna be kind of tricky. We either think that Tua is a great player, or we think he's good but not great. We know he's not a starter. We know he has done enough to be beyond that. We know he's way past journeyman, and we for sure know he's not a bust.
Good, not great.
Ooh, Rod, where do you want to put him, man? I'm gonna be the tiebreaker on this one.
Nah, you know I'm gonna put him at great player. You know I'm gonna put him at great player. The only reason why I don't put him as franchise guy is only because we got to see a little bit more of him playing well along the line. But as of right now, I'll say great player. I feel pretty good about that. I feel pretty good about it.
All right, so it's me. I'm gonna be the tiebreaker on this one, guys. I'm going to say
Can I make an
that.
argument?
Go ahead.
I would say that franchise guy is below great player. Only because there are franchise quarterbacks who are not great.
All right, man. Say less, bro. Boom. It don't take nothing to move that dog. It don't take nothing. So we're gonna put.
And I think Joe Burrow would.
Well, I gotta ask you though, Josh, who's a franchise quarterback who's not great? Huh?
Daniel Jones.
No, because they didn't pick up his fifth-year option. The best Kirk Cousins. Yeah, Kirk Cousins. Yeah, that was Kirk Cousins.
That's fair.
Not great quarterbacks.
All right, so that's fair. So we'll start over, right? So we have great player, franchise guy, good but not great, starter, journeyman, and bust. Because you do make a very good point. Because at the end of the day, like you can make the argument that Ryan Tannehill is a franchise quarterback.
There you go.
So you can make the argument. So that is fair.
Listen, y'all can say that. No way, not to me. Y'all can say that shit. I ain't saying that fucking at all. I watched the guy for 7 years. He ain't no franchise guy. I'm saying that right now.
Holy shit.
No way.
Holy shit. All right. Okay, so we all agree that Joe Burrow is a great player. All right. Tua
So franchise
Tagovailoa.
guy for me then.
So you got him at franchise guy. What about you? What about you, Josh? Now that we reformatted it.
Franchise. I'll give him franchise.
Okay, so y'all got me both. So it doesn't matter what I was gonna say regardless. I was gonna say good but not great. But if with the reformation, it's hard not to put him at a franchise. Because I just can't forget those that first season, bro. Like I the first 2 seasons, I can't forget it, dog. Like it's hard. But
You know what's funny about Tua? I just want to make mention of this, Herb. I think what he suffers from, for most people, is first impression is a lasting impression, and
absolutely.
I think it's hard for a lot of people to kind of look at him like the way I see people judging Tua this season is kind of like they're waiting for the wheels to fall off. I don't feel that way at all, but but I can understand because I can tell you I watched the nigga, his first 2 years. There was nothing special that you could really see his first 2 years, so I can't argue people with that. But that's it. I just find that interesting.
It's hard to forget he beat Brian Fitzmagic Prime.
Hey, you know what? There's a lot of Dolphins fans who don't like Fitzmagic, but man, I enjoyed it when he played.
He was fun, man. He was fun, man. It was fun, man. It was super fun.
You never knew the thing with him is his variance is so ridiculous that you never knew what you're gonna get. A Hall of Fame game or a Nathan Peterman game. Like you just never knew.
Absolutely, man. Okay, all right. Next up, man, Justin Herbert, bro, who was a third quarterback in that 2020 draft, man. I'm gonna start. Ironically, this season that he's had this year has convinced me that he's actually a great player because if he wasn't on his team, bro, the Chargers would probably have 2 wins at this point, bro. Like he's at least gotten them more wins than they should have, bro. That's just me though. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass the rock to Rod. Where do you put Justin Herbert, Rod?
As of right now, I'll put him as a franchise guy, and I'll tell you why. He has a great player talent, no doubt. Like if you watch any Chargers games, the nigga's he's gonna make at least 2 or 3 throws where you go, what the fuck was that? Like he does that every game. But there's something weird, and I don't want to put it all on him because he's what carries the team. But the nigga he for his first 3 seasons, and maybe it's just a Chargers curse. He doesn't win a lot. Like he has a losing record for his career, which isn't all on him. QB wins is not just
no, it is because at the end of the day, like there are so many plays in the game that listen for every incredible 60-yard throw to some random dude. And by the way, he has the most touchdown passes to the most different amount of players in the league since he's been in the league right now, right? I think he has like 57 touchdown passes to 57 different players, right? Like he is throwing to everybody, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it goes back to the same argument with Aaron Rodgers. Like, was there a play or 2 or 3 that you could have made? Did you sustain that drive? Did you make that play that you should have made? Did you let the pressure get to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, so people want to say that QB wins is not a QB stat, but it kind of is, bro. Like, you watched it with Tua. Tua wins majority of his games that he starts and finishes, dog. Like, we could argue it, but it's something to it.
Well, the one thing I will always say about my man Tua is he will usually make enough plays to win, even if it don't look pretty. So,
all right. So you have him a franchise guy. Josh, you are the tiebreaker, or you could throw a complete wrench in this, bro. So where do you have Justin Herbert?
I got him as a franchise guy, so I don't think he can be labeled as great until you accomplish great things.
Fair enough, man. So we're going to go ahead and put Justin Herbert there, man. Jalen Hurts, man. Rod, I'm going to go ahead and start with you, man.
This is a tough one, Herb, but you know what? I'm gonna be fair to Jalen Hurts because I'll be honest, I wasn't really expecting a lot from him this season, but he's impressed me. So I'll put him I was thinking good, not great, but I think he's proven he could be a franchise guy. The team is 10-1. Like he's a franchise guy at minimum.
Josh.
He's even done great things. Like speaking of, you can't be great without doing. He's accomplished great things already this year, but I still have him only as a franchise guy because I think that, like, similarly to like how Justin Fields, who I'm sure we'll talk about in a second, is like he'll have a couple great games because people don't really have the book out on him yet. Like Sirianni's kind of like that. So I feel like Sirianni's offense is eventually going to get figured out. The Eagles might not be as explosive in the playoffs and coming up next year.
Man, y'all guys are ranking him way higher than me, bro. If it was me, bro, he's a starter. Like, take Jalen Hurts. No, bro, this ain't got nothing to do. This is not no NFC East beef, bro. This is purely put him on any other team that is not amazing. Like, you saw him in that playoff game against the Bucks last year, bro. And again, you can develop, you can grow as a player, but I don't think he's that far off from that player that we saw in that. Oh, not last year, but 2 years ago. I'm sorry. No, I'm tripping. It was last year. My bad. It was last year. It was last year. I don't think he's that far off. Like, if you watch plays and you watch film on the Eagles, he has an incredible system around him, bro. He is a starter. He's a high-end starter. But I'm not even going to call him good, but not great. Like, he is a product of everything around him, bro. But you both said he's a franchise guy, so I'm going to be beholden to what we have, bro. So I will put him in franchise. Not me. This is where he should. This is where I think he is, but I'm outranked, bro. So franchise guy, man, Jalen Hurts, bro. What you were saying, Josh?
You would say all that same stuff about Tua, about how he's a product of the talent around.
No, because I do think that Tua. Remember, put it like this. It was years ago, and again, people develop, people grow as players, people get better later on, i.e., Derrick Henry. But there's a reason why Jalen Hurts got subbed for Tua Tagovailoa in the national championship game against the Georgia Bulldogs, bro. Like, there's a reason like, that happened. And Tua, as a true freshman, won a game that he came in the game in the second half again because Jalen Hurts just couldn't get it done. And Jalen Hurts is much better than he was. Like, he went to Oklahoma. He played under Lincoln Riley. He became a much better football player. Trust, I'm not arguing that. But I think if you put Jalen Hurts on any other team, whether they're good or bad, where you need more out of him than he can provide, he would be a starter. Like, I don't think at best he's good but not great in my opinion. But you both said he's a franchise guy, so I gotta put him in the franchise tier, bro. All right.
I debated between good, not great, and franchise guy. I just really gave it to him because, I mean, the Eagles have played well. And I'll say this, Herb, to your point about him being on a great team. And when you really think about it, it's funny because Tua gets all the hate, but, like, think about what Jalen Hurts has played with.
Bro, Jalen Hurts is on a superstar team, bro.
Football, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, great defense. Like,
by far the best offensive line. Like, they are, like, that team is ridiculous, bro. It is arguably better than the 2018 Eagles team, bro, which had the best offensive line and defensive line in football. Like, the team that was so good that their backup quarterback, Nick Foles, could win the Super Bowl, bro. Like, that's and this team might be better than that. It actually is because they got A.J. Brown. So, yeah, that's just where I'm at. If I put Jalen Hurts on the Ravens, if I put Jalen Hurts on the 49ers, it would be a much different story. That's just my opinion. But, hey, it is what it is. He is where he is. You both said franchise guys, so that's where he is, bro. So that's it for the 2020 team or 2020 draft class. Let's move on to the 2021, man. Starting with Trevor Lawrence, bro. Y'all know my history with Trevor Lawrence, bro, so I'll get the last pick, bro. But I'm going to start with you, Josh. Where would you put Trevor Lawrence?
Good, not great. He's I think that once he finds I think that he suffers from, and I've heard this on like other interviews and stuff, he's always had to be like no emotion whatsoever. Because like from like 15 years old, he was crowned like the next Peyton Manning, and so I'm sure any emotion that he ever showed on the football field like was told like, oh, you can't do that because then you're cocky or arrogant or whatever. So now like he's just this dull guy. Like in the past couple of weeks, I've seen him like show some life and like just before they got the doors beat off them by the Lions. But I think that he's good, not great.
All right, Rob, where you putting Trevor, man?
Man, I mean, to be honest with you, man, I don't know. There's just something about him that I can't get sold on. I'll say he's a starter in the league. I'll say he's a starter. I'll give him that much because he has had some flashes here and there, but I need to see more from him before I could really believe that Trevor Lawrence could be anything other than just an average starter that'll show you flashes here and there. Tannehill showed me flashes, Herbie, but he never panned out to be anything. So I'm not saying that Trevor Lawrence is the same kind of prospect. Oh, he was the best prospect since John Elway, people told me. I haven't seen that. I've seen pieces of it here and there, but I'll say he's a starter.
All right, man. So that leaves me. If you know my history, bro, you know me. You know me. I can't stand Trevor Lawrence, bro. No disrespect to him on a personal level. He is from all accounts awesome, great locker room guy,
No Dan
sweet,
Marino.
not a Dan Marino, bro. Super nice, like super humble. Like he has self awareness about himself, and he treats people like people. This is nothing personal. My hate for Trevor Lawrence is strictly about the fact that it's never his fault. Never his fault. However, I've said this on the podcast before, and I've said this on the podcast in the past, and I've said it on the pod. I will say this on the podcast going forward. He is literally too talented to fail as a quarterback. He is so talented. Like, as crazy as it sounds, right? He might be the most talented quarterback of all time. More than Patrick Mahomes, more than Dan Marino, more than John Elway, more than Aaron Rodgers. He's so talented, he's bust proof. Like, he literally trips and falls his way into an incredible play, bro, because he's that talented. Like, he can't be bad, bro. Like, so for him to be average as he's been this entire career so far is a testament to his talent. Because when he just turns his brain off and just does incredible shit and doesn't think, he will do incredible shit. So I have to say, as much as I don't like him, and much as I think he has been bad, and a lot of the reason why the Jaguars have been bad is because of him, I have to say good, not great. Like, he's that talented, bro. So I'm gonna put him in good, not great, man. Whoo! We don't even have to. We don't even have to talk about Zach Wilson, bro. Let's just go ahead and get that one out of the way, bro.
Hold on, I gotta do my chant. B-U-S-T. Bust, 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 nigga.
I'm gonna strongly disagree.
What?
I'm going starter.
Nah. There's no way. There's no way.
What have you seen in him?
Go, Josh. The floor is yours. The floor is yours, bro. The floor is yours, bro.
Who played for the Los Angeles Rams tonight? Anybody? Who's the quarterback? Baker Mayfield was. Why? Because what he did in Carolina? Absolutely not. It's because he was the first round pick. Zach Wilson is the first round pick. He's the first pick. So that's going to get him starting roles into positions where he doesn't deserve it. I don't think that he deserves to be a starter, but that's what he's going to be.
Okay, that's different. That's different.
They started Mike White over him, though.
That's different. That you're acknowledging his path just off of his draft profile. We want to know what you actually think of him as a player. Your personal opinion.
He's a bust, but he was going to be. At the end of the day, he's going to start for 4 more teams.
Okay, so again,
but not. I would say a journeyman's backup, like a Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think that he's going to start for multiple teams, just like Baker did, only because of where he was drafted. Like he is such an incredibly long leash because the old school NFL, like, oh, the number 1 pick in the draft mentality, whereas like someone like Brock Purdy, if that's even Brock Purdy, I think. See, I don't even know. Has such an incredibly short leash. He just beat the Dolphins, and they're already talking about replacing. Oh, let's get Josh Freeman in here. Like, What? He just beat the Dolphins. Give him a chance. Zach Wilson is going to be afforded every luxury that he could, every advantage that you could possibly have as a quarterback. He's going to get every opportunity and he's not going to deserve it. But that's just how it goes, being the number one pick.
Luckily for us, this is the Phin Outta Water podcast, and we both know what's gonna happen, bro. So we all agree that he's a bust, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put him right there, man. Woo. All right, next up, Justin Fields, man. This one, Justin Fields could be anywhere from great to journeyman, bro. He is the wild card of the past two drafts, bro. So I'll go ahead and start on my end. I'm going to say Justin Fields is going to be a starter for me. And I'm gonna explain why. I think Justin Fields is incredible as an athlete. I think Justin Fields is incredible as a football player. But when it comes down to it, you have to be a quarterback. And we've seen, even with this season, and I get it, bro. He doesn't have the best supporting class. He doesn't have the best O-line. Chase Claypool got traded to the Bears, and he doesn't make a dent. Like, I forgot he was on the Bears. Like, I legitimately forgot he was on the Bears. However, you have to win in the pocket to have a great career. And I think there are going to be so many moments where he doesn't win in the pocket, like that game against the Packers, right? To close the game out, and he just threw a pick at the end of the game when it was, you can't run your way out of this. You can't run your way out of this. You're going to throw a pick. I think his deficiencies as a quarterback is going to ultimately hold him back as a player. And again, he could literally be great to journeyman. That's the variance. His skill set is great as a football player, but his skill set as a quarterback is anywhere from starter to journeyman, bro. So I'm going to put him as a starter because I think that he's somewhere in the middle, bro. So that's me. Rod, go ahead. Where would you put Justin Fields?
I got a chance to watch him up close, and he ran all over us, dog, and he's run all over a lot of teams. But I think I gotta agree with you, Herb. I think he could be starter just because him as an athlete, his running ability. I see the Packers fan is not a fan of the Bears. I can see it in your face. But I mean, at the end of the day, his ability to make plays without throwing the ball is gonna add some value to his game. Where he falls short is where I feel the same about Herb is, and I've watched film on Justin Fields. One of my favorite film guys, Tim Jenkins, he does film on Justin Fields every week whenever he plays. And, you know, at the end of the day, he was improving a little bit, but he still makes his mistakes as a passer. And I don't know how much better he will ever actually get in that aspect. He will improve, but I don't know if it'll ever be enough to make him good, not great, or even higher. But at the end of the day, for now, I'll definitely say he's a starter.
All right, Josh.
Justin Fields is a journeyman to a bust. Justin, they spent their draft pick on a quarterback that can't throw the ball. He has more rushing yards than he has passing yards, and everybody it's the same. It's the same. The whole Colin Kaepernick had an incredible season, and then what happened the next year situation. Like, once the book is out on a running quarterback, and they make you throw, and then the defenses just sit there and say, "Now I dare you to throw." It's like, this is bad. This is bad news bears, if you will. And Jair Alexander, who had gotten destroyed all night, finally came up with an interception as a win because Justin Fields stared at him the entire play. Like, can't be doing that. Can't be staring at one of the top corners in the game. But he's not a good quarterback. Like, that's what, like, Taysom Hill is. We wouldn't put Taysom Hill.
What's her problem? What is? Hold on. No, you good. Go ahead.
I don't think we put Taysom Hill as a starter, and I don't think that there's much difference between the two of them. other than the type of offenses and the role in that offense. But like skill wise, I don't think there's much difference. Justin Fields is probably a little faster. And yeah, I'm a Bear hater, so this is obviously coming from a place of hate. But that's what it is. Prove me wrong. He's got more rushing yards than passing yards as a quarterback.
I mean, listen, man. I'll say this. At the end of the day, his max for me right now is starter, so I'm not gonna disagree with you, bro. I don't think he's a bust, but he was somewhere between being a journeyman and a starter. I gave him the benefit of the doubt because we saw flashes of what he could do when he actually plays a good game, and even though he has more rushing yards than passing yards, Herb alluded to it earlier. Like, I mean, yeah, he doesn't have a lot of like they went out and traded for Chase Claypool to be like, like that's what they're working with. You know what I mean? Like, offensive line is bad, and he himself, the coaching staff, they've shown that they haven't really trusted him, at least early in the season. They really trust him to throw the ball. I think they've loosened up a bit as the season's gone on. But then you have a game against the Packers where he throws 2 interceptions to get him out the game. So, it's hard for me to think he'll be better than a starter, but he can make enough plays with his legs. And, dude, like, whenever that nigga takes out, like, that nigga has a knack for just breaking from the defense, dog. Like,
he is fast as shit.
Man.
Like, that Packers fan, that is scary because historically we've not done well against scrambling quarterbacks. But I don't think that I think that the Bears, what are they gonna do? Like,
hold on, guys. Yeah, you got wait. You guys can handle that. Listen, I'm a father, bro. I got baby shit, bro. So let's go on to the next player, bro. Like, while I deal with the baby, bro. Mac Jones, bro. Where y'all putting Mac Jones, man? Well, I go deal with the baby, bro. I'm sorry. I apologize. Mac Jones. Josh, it's on you. Give me 5 seconds. Give me 2 minutes.
Journeyman, this dude almost lost his job to Billy Zappi. I mean, that's just the only reason saving him is the fact that he's in Bill Belichick's offense. The fact that he got to the playoffs is not because of him. Like, he got to the playoffs throwing 3 passes in a game. All right, that's it. That's a franchise guy.
Oh, bro, listen, dude, I'm right with you, bro. Like, people can say what they want about Tua, but when people try to look me in the eye and tell me that Mac Jones is better, I'm just like, dude, get the fuck out of here. The only thing you could say for him this season that's going against him is that outside of a veteran quarterback, I don't know what young quarterback could play with Matt Patricia and Joe Judge as their coordinator and QB coach. Like, that's just such a weird coaching decision. So that was kind of like a match made in heaven. But Mac, I'm right there with you. Like, I won't call him a bust, but he's definitely Mac Jones screams journeyman. That nigga he's going on a pilgrimage to different teams. Like, I don't think the Patriots are gonna keep him as a starter for long, which then maybe you can call him a bust, but he might end up going to some other team and being like a Tannehill where he comes and he kind of makes it into his own, but right now he is a prime journeyman, Herbie. He got his hiking boots on. He's gonna go rock climbing, journeyman all day.
Bro, there's no and I'm not saying this to be funny. Like all jokes aside, bro. Literally all jokes aside, Mac Jones is literally the prototype journeyman quarterback, bro. Like, if you design him in a laboratory, bro, you would get Mac Jones, bro. Like, he is average at every aspect of quarterback, bro. Like, that is the quintessential journeyman, bro. So, yeah. And last but not least, man, Davis Mills. Where are we putting Davis Mills? What the fuck do we do with this guy, bro? Like, what do we do with this guy, bro?
I mean, I'll tell you what, I don't think you can call him a bust just because of where they drafted him. Like, they weren't expected. Like, he wasn't. They weren't expecting him to be much. But I think when Mac Jones goes on his trip, he's gonna keep his seat nice and warm and have Davis Mills as his buddy riding along with him. Because I'll give him journeyman because He actually hasn't, as bad as the Texans have been, he's been one of their bright spots, which is crazy to say. But it's the truth, dog. Like he doesn't make any plays, but he doesn't make a lot of mistakes either. So that sounds like a guy that could be a perfect journeyman to me.
All right, Josh, because I got him a journeyman too. So you're a tiebreaker.
I mean, he's a journeyman. I would say I would even venture to say almost starter because he's been able to obtain a win on a franchise that is, from by all accounts, on fire. So I mean, like everything going on in that organization, and then
Fair enough.
Fair
enough. I have him as journeyman simply because of his draft lineage, right? Like the same thing you said about Zach Wilson, which is why Zach Wilson is going to get multiple opportunities to get a start. I think Davis Mills is better than where he was drafted, but not good enough to overcome anything. Like Davis Mills is not good enough to overcome the Houston Texans, bro. Right? It's the Houston Texans, bro. Right?
I don't know any quarterback that is.
Right. So the fact that
playing top 5 couldn't. So
absolutely. Deshaun Watson had one of the greatest quarterback seasons that we ever seen, and he only won 4 games, bro, with the Houston Texans, bro. So I think when it comes down to it, I you know what, you've swayed my opinion. I'm gonna put him in starter because I think if he was on a good team, Davis Mills would be a much better quarterback. He still would not be great. He still would not be good, but he would be good enough. Go ahead.
The Patriots would be better with Davis Mills over Mac Jones.
Ironically, bro. Ironically, man.
I won't argue that.
Ironically, man. So all right, so just to recap, we have Joe Burrow by himself as a great player. We have Tua, Justin Herbert, and Jalen Hurts as franchise guys. We have Trevor Lawrence as good but not great. We have Justin Fields and Davis Mills as starters. Mac Jones as a journeyman, 100%, and Zach Wilson as a bust, bro. I don't care. Nobody's gonna get me off of this fucking platform, bro. He is a bust. Nobody's gonna change my mind, bro.
You know what's funny about this tier list? It just goes to show you the separation between the 2020 class and 2021.
Absolutely.
Not one guy in 2021 that we feel is at least a franchise guy.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, bro.
But I would say in the 2021 class or the 2020 class, in their first year, how many would be in that same ranking that we got them right now? Tua wouldn't,
Yeah, but the thing with Tua, I think Tua, because of his circumstances, that it would have been an incomplete. Because most people I know would have been like, you know what, we don't know until we give him the opportunity, right? Because go ahead.
If it's at this point in the season last year, we probably have Joe Burrow way lower.
No, because Joe Burrow went to. If
at
it was
at this point in the season last year, they weren't high yet.
Yeah, but we knew that Joe Burrow wasn't the problem. We would have probably had Joe Burrow at worst, at good, but not great. At worst, we wouldn't have had him lower than that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like sometimes we can see who's better than their situation. And I think with Joe Burrow, which is the reason why he's the only person that we can say is a great player, is because say what you want, like he took the Bengals to the Super Bowl, bro. His second year, the Bengals, bro. Like the Bengals.
He won the game with 9 sacks and he beat Mahomes. Like, sorry, that's impressive.
And
you take 9 sacks and win. You got my vote.
If all he had to do was be average in the Super Bowl and they win, like the Rams were not good in that Super Bowl. Like he was good enough to win, but he had a bad game. That's the only reason why they lost. The Bengals were the better team in that Super Bowl as well. So yeah, I don't think that. It's just with Tua, it was so hard because his best receiver was Devontae Parker, dog. Like we see what Devontae Parker is doing to Mac Jones. Now, granted, Mac Jones was going to make it better anyway, but because he's a journeyman. But it is what it is, man. All right, man. Before we get out of here, bro, because this episode went way longer than I expected it to. We were at 2 hours. We're gonna go ahead and strive away from football for a second, bro. Topic 5, man. Brittney Griner is coming home, and we can spend like 5-10 minutes, bro. I just want to get everybody's opinion on it. This is one of those situations where it's bigger than football, it's bigger than sports. This transcends everything, right? However, the only reason why I wanted to talk about it is because I'm seeing a lot of people who are all of a sudden espionage experts, bro. Like they're geopolitical experts now, bro. Like niggas in the hood that didn't even graduate high school know about fucking geopolitics now, bro. Like
Crazy, dog.
like it's funny because this is one of those situations where we can't agree on anything, bro. Like we can't agree on anything. So before I give my opinion, I want to get your opinion, Josh. I'm gonna get your opinion, Rod, and I'm gonna start with you, Josh. How do you feel about Brittney Griner coming home, bro?
I think that the polarization of it is kind of like, did you? I like even Micah Parsons was trending as MAGA Parsons today on Twitter for like the longest time because like he is like, oh, like he's making comments without knowledge, and because everybody's an expert. Uh, I think no matter like your political alliance, anytime we get a U.S. citizen home that was detained in a different country, that's a win. Uh, I know that like a lot of the politics, like a lot of the backlash or whatever about it is, oh, we have people locked up here, you know, for possession and stuff, and people do. And I would say that I would hope that Brittney Griner sees it as an opportunity when she gets back here to maybe advocate for those people, and then it's a win-win for everybody. So I mean, I'm not a big, you know, one way or the other guy. I'm obviously I don't think that pot should be illegal. I'm a big fan, but that's pretty much it. I'm glad she's home. It's great. Like people that are like, oh, you know, we traded this guy, and like, well, I know his backstory, and you know, there's still a guy over there that's this guy, and it's like, all right, but like you don't know what you're talking about though, because like you're only listening to somebody else's opinion of it, and like you're not act like the is one of the things that happened is like everybody's an expert about everything now. We're experts about football now. Look at us go.
Right, right, right. Facts, bro. Facts, and that's overall my opinion. My opinion is like, listen, I understand it on an intellectual level, and I get why you have situations like Micah Parsons. I see that, right? Because Micah Parsons, unlike people that work for Fox News and whatever, right? They're not doing it to be divisive. Micah Parsons is just a regular football player. He has no incentive to be divisive, which is why he immediately apologized because he was like, "Oh, this is fucking my pockets up. Let me say sorry." However, right? He was like, "Oh shit, I'm tripping."
No,
However,
sir.
However, there's a lot of nuance and nobody actually knows anything, bro. Like we never even knew the Merchant of Death before this situation, bro. So again, I have my opinions, but Rod, I'm gonna get your opinions first, bro. So go ahead and cook and I'll close it out with what I have to say.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. When it comes to the Brittney Griner situation, I'm not gonna. The one thing about me, I'm never gonna pretend to know things that I don't know. So, I mean, I don't know about the laws in Russia. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna get deep into that. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, at the end of the day, I'm with Josh, bro. Like, at the end of the day, an American is home. Like, my thing about this whole situation, Herbie, and it's just I wish people could explain it to me more. Is that like why were people so happy? Like there was a strong section of the American populace that were like they were just like, oh yeah, let her rot in prison. It's just like like what like why do y'all feel that way? Like oh she knew the rules, she knew this, she knew that. Like y'all were there. Like at the end of the day, bro, I don't. The one thing I know is that if someone's gonna go to prison, I would hope they go to prison here because I know foreign people and they talk about prisons in their countries. And man, I don't think she deserved to do 10 years for what she did. Like Josh, I am an advocate for Mary Jane. All right, I'm an advocate for the cannon bus. You feel me? I'm good for that bus ride. So for me, I feel kind of bad for her. Like, damn, baby, like if there were some rules that you should have known, I hear that she had an opportunity to dispose of it before they caught her or whatever or whatnot. I don't know. But the one thing I will say is that I'm here for the memes, dog. That's it. You know what I mean? She's home. It's cool. I'm here for the memes. Just gonna keep it a buck.
Oh yeah.
All right. So let me go ahead and give my opinion, bro, because like it's funny because my opinion leans both ways, right? It leans right, it leans left. And this is the part that annoys me the most about all of this, right? That we are in such a cycle of fighting each other that we realize what we're supposed to be fighting for, which is unity. UNITY, to quote Queen Latifah. We should not be arguing about this, bro. Like, if you are a patriot, if you are a self proclaimed patriot, there's no way that you can be mad about this. How? It doesn't make any sense that you're angry about this.
At all, bro.
This is a win for America, right? And I get it. People are mad about Patrick Whalen. If you don't know who Patrick Whalen is, he is a part of the community where he was a Marine that is held abroad as well, and he is being held on the fact that he's accused of being a spy. The Whalen family, and I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, the only reason why Brittney Griner is home because she is a high-profile basketball player." Duh, like you're not making a point. Like you're not
At all.
you're not making a point here, bro. Duh. Okay, so what? Yeah, that's exactly why she's home. You didn't know about Patrick Whalen until you knew about Brittney Griner. You didn't know that he's been there. He's been captive for all these years because you didn't care. Nobody actually cares. We only want to fight with each other, right? If you want to be mad internally. But at the end of the day, are you an American? Are you a patriot? Do you bleed that red, white, and blue that you like you say you do? This is a win. This is a win. Yes. Intellectually, it is very stupid to trade. Oh, it is very
The
stupid
Merchant of Death.
to trade the Merchant of Death for a WNBA player. We understand that. We understand.
You think
Greatest
he got to pick that name?
NBA trade of all time, bro.
Go ahead, Josh.
You think he picked that name, or he was given that name?
I think he was given that name, but he's not saying no to it because that name's fucking awesome, bro. The Merchant
Right.
of Death. That is an awesome nickname, bro. Ain't nobody saying no to that. Ain't nobody saying no to that. Like that's fucking. Listen, if you put
If
like this,
I'm just saying, if his nickname was worse, we wouldn't care as much. If
we
his
wouldn't
nickname
care
was
if his
like-
name was the Merchant of Rascals, bro, or the Merchant of fucking of porcupines, bro. We wouldn't be like, oh, is he really that bad? No,
Oh, we
his
gave him
name
back
is the
Vlad the douche. We gave him
his-
Vlad the douche back. Oh no,
Vlad the douchebag,
It
bro.
doesn't-
Nobody
it
would
doesn't
care.
sound as-
The fact that his name is the Merchant of Death, we're like, ooh, he has to be important. Maybe not. Maybe not. Put like this. The deal that Russia got for him was always on the table. America got the information that they needed out of him, which is why they were comfortable with trading him now. Remember, Russia said that that's who they wanted 3 months ago. It never changed. America interrogated him. He gave up the goods. America said, you know what? We got enough of what we got, bro. We're cool with trading you now, bro. And because we're so invested in fighting with each other, bro, I want to fight you because you're a conservative. And a conservative wants to fight me because I may be a liberal, bro. That we're not realizing the reality of the situation, bro.
The big picture, man.
The big picture. The big picture is this. Brittney Griner, whatever you feel about weed, whatever you feel about marijuana, at the end of the day, we can't put American sensibilities on abroad sensibilities. What we feel about weed cannot be placed on how Russia feels about weed. Remember, we were Russia 10 years ago. You couldn't walk and get weed at a dispensary 10 years ago, bro. You couldn't do that. Like, we want to act holier than thou. Like, it wasn't illegal in all 50 states. We don't have a problem with weed right now. Like, we don't have multiple people serving multiple year sentences because of weed right now, bro. So for people to act like this is crazy that Russia feels that way about marijuana, no. Brittney Griner, as a basketball player, I know that she knew that she couldn't do what she did, which is have weed on her at the airport. She was stupid. She put herself in that situation. Russia took advantage of that. America, as a response, said, hey, you know what? We can't give up the merchant of death for a WNBA play, bro. like let's be honest, bro. Let's be honest. And for 3 or 4 or 5 months, they played that toe tag game, and she's home. You feel me? They felt like they got what they needed to get out of him, and he was no longer necessary, and they made a trade, bro. And now she's home. But the bigger issue is that we have a bunch of people who are exposing themselves. At the end of the day, this is a win for America. Did we take a loss in the grand scheme of things? Yes. Did we take a loss in espionage? Yes. Did we take a loss in geopolitics? Yes. But who fucking cares? Because somebody was going to play. We've been complaining that she's not been home since she's been arrested. So we got her home. So what is there to be mad about?
Some people just want to keep the fight going, bro, and I don't get it, man.
No, you should get it because it's not about the fight. The fight is everlasting. The fight is forever because the fight isn't real. The fight is manufactured. So you're going to keep fighting. Like, I have put like this, bro. I love my homeboy Gerson to death, bro. Gerson said this is the worst trade in the world. This nigga doesn't know his entire mind frame of geopolitics is James Bond, bro. That nigga doesn't know about this shit. He doesn't understand the ramifications. And that's how most people are doing this, bro. Like, people's entire expertise on this is Mission Impossible and James Bond. They're like, ooh, how could we give up the merchant of death for a WNBA player? You don't fucking know, or you don't fucking care. It's just enjoyable to argue about online with people on social media, bro. And social media has become the worst place in the world.
It's the most toxic place ever.
It's the most toxic place in the world. Now, we have people, seriously, and I'm not saying this to be disrespectful, but I'm going to say this again. We have people who did not graduate middle school who are experts on geopolitics, bro. Who are experts on espionage, bro. Like, because we traded Brittney Griner for the merchant of death. They could tell me about all the ramifications about this, bro. And it's just where we are as a society. It's just where we are as a collective people, bro. And honestly, bro, I just can't. I can't anymore, bro. Like, I give up, dog. I give up, bro. Like, I give up. I give up. You won. You people have broken me down, and you won. You beat me down, bro. Like,
crazy, dog.
Oh man. So, any last words before we go ahead and leave on that note, man?
I mean, hey, I just want to say, man, Josh, man, it's great having you on the show, bro.
Absolutely.
It's always great to have, fans of other teams. Because, yeah, it's called Phin Outta Water, but it's an NFL podcast.
This is an NFL podcast for sure, man.
So, it's always great to have other perspectives. Like, I'm not the type of guy who gets super offended if people don't like my team. Like, dude, it is what it is. Like, I hate the Jets. You know what I mean? I hate the Patriots. I hate the Bills. Like, we all have football. That's what makes football great, is that we can hate and we could love and we could all have fun at the same time. So, man, it was a pleasure having you on, and I hope we get you again sometime soon. You know what I'm
saying? I appreciate you guys having me. I'll definitely be back. It was definitely fun. Hopefully, the Packers aren't going to be relevant for much for the rest of this season, but
we're forget about that. Yeah,
on a closing note, I do want to say something to think about going into next week. Maybe a conversation for y'all next week is that football curses are real. The Browns are going to be cursed forever.
Absolutely.
For what they did to Baker. He got them a playoff win. They kicked him out. Just watch.
You one of them Baker dudes, man. That's crazy.
Listen,
man. That's crazy,
I'm not saying he's great. I'm just saying he got them a win, and then they disrespected him.
But I mean, bro, the man getting his ass.
I mean, he disrespected them first with that season he had after.
He was hurt. He was hurt. The Colts booed Andrew Luck's retirement. They've been shit since. The Detroit Lions refused to pay Calvin Johnson. They've been shit since. Football curses are real. The football gods are real.
Yeah.
The football gods are real. Tom Brady sacrifices his family to them. That's why he's divorced now, and they started winning again. I'm telling you.
I mean,
the
but what's
football
a
Illuminati.
family though? Like, what's a family though? What's a family when you got like
Family
he's
schmamly.
family, like he's golden forever. Who cares about a
He's
family,
got
right?
he's got
Like
he's got SBF as his family now.
That's hilarious.
he got Lombardi as his family, bro. It's the only people that he cared about. All right, and with that, man, we're gonna go ahead and close the show out, man. Thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for rocking with us, man. So we appreciate y'all. We love football. People who watch us, we know that you guys love football as well, man. So thank you again, man. And we have one last comment, man. Whoa. Of course. Gerson is legit an anomaly of this world. How his mind works sometimes, bro. Tony, you are 100% right. You are 100% right. And shout out to my man Tony one more time, bro. Brady is legit. Ball is life. That is true. Tom Brady sacrificed his family, his happiness, and everything to be 6-6 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, bro. That is
Worst
commitment.
unretirement of all time.
That is commitment, man. That is true commitment, man. So with that, man, we will see y'all again, man. We'll see y'all next week for Thursday Night Football again, man. Deuces, man. Josh, bro, appreciate you, bro. It was a
Appreciate
pleasure.
it.